between that and the pressures, whether it's internal pressures or external pressures, it gets to a point where sometimes you feel like, man, like, am I going to be able to compete with other students that are applying but might not be first generation? So I want to give you 3 keys to success. If you can do these 3, you're going to be more than all right and you'll kill it. Because in many ways, I actually think it's an advantage. And I'll tell you why here in just a second. Turning dreams into reality. Hey, what is up? How you doing? My name is Joseph Ngugi. I'm a physical therapist, also one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, where we help you get into physical therapy school without wasting time or money. So in this training, I want to talk to first generation students. So you're either first generation to go to college. Basically, you're the first in your family to go to college, or you're the first in your family to go to grad school. So if that is you, then listen to this. And even if that's not you, I think you're going to get a lot of value from this either way. And then, of course, be sure to like, subscribe if you value this, and share this with someone that would benefit from it. So let's dive in real quick. This is not going to be a long training, but this is going to be a super valuable one to those of y'all that are first generation. So here's the thing. So first generation students, we actually have quite a few of them in our coaching program. And after talking to a lot of students that are first gen, whether it's college or grad school, there's certain pressures that many of them kind of seem to have. And so maybe that's what you experienced if you're first gen, or there's really not people in your family, or you don't have a lot of people in your family that understand what you're experiencing and may try to give you guidance and direction and support, but they don't know how to do it. And so between that and the pressures, whether it's internal pressures or external pressures, it gets to a point where sometimes you feel like, man, like, am I going to be able to compete with other students that are applying but might not be first generation? So I want to give you 3 keys to success. If you can do these 3, you're going to be more than all right and you'll kill it. Because in many ways, I actually think it's an advantage. And I'll tell you why here in just a second. So let's dive into the 3 points. Point number 1 is remember who you represent, but don't let it be a burden. All right, so you represent your family, you represent your friends, you represent others that look up to you that you might not even know are looking up to you, but don't let that be a burden. Like look at that as an amazing opportunity, yes, but when you're in class, when you're retaking classes, when you're studying for the GRE, when you're applying to PT school, don't take that with you. That's not for you to carry. Your job is to lock in on what you need to do, figure out what you need to fix or adjust and whatnot. Your job is to lock in on your dream. Your job is not to worry about who you're carrying with you. They're going to be there to celebrate you, but that's not on you to carry. And so that's the first thing. Like, remember who you represent, but don't let it be a burden. All right. Point number 2 is this: use the edge. Use the edge. In many ways, I believe that being a first generation student is an advantage, right? So use the edge. Use the edge of your work ethic. Naturally, like when you're first to something, you naturally have more of a work ethic because that's what you can bring to the table, right? So use your work ethic. Use your lack of expectations as an edge, right? like turn moments of fear or doubt or second guessing into the fire that drives you, that allows you to show up day after day after day for your classes, for studying, for yourself, for your mind. When you're asking yourself, hey, like, I'm going to show up for myself, so that means I need to take care of what's going on in here and protecting what I'm listening to and who I'm listening to, even if it's family members, right? So use the edge, because it really is an edge if you understand it. And if you don't understand it, it can quickly turn into what you might convince yourself is a disadvantage, right? And so that's just not the case. So that's number 2. Point number 3 is this: support is your biggest leverage. Use it. It is not weakness. So think about it. Like, when you're the first to anything, you're typically going to do things the hard way, right? Because you don't know any shortcuts. No one has ever navigated through anything. So you're like, I'm just gonna kind of, figure this thing out on my own. And so because of that, like, I'm telling you right now, like, use like direction, guidance, help, support, anything, because it's not weakness. All it's allowing you to do is to actually show up as the best version of yourself and not waste time. So what should you be looking for? Number 1, you should be looking for other people that have gotten to your next target, right? Whether that's getting into PT school or whether that's becoming a physical therapist, other people who have gotten to that next target, but were once in your shoes, were once first generation students. Be around them, ask them what they did differently, just get into their mindset, ask them how they dealt with some of the things that you might be struggling with, whether that's doubt or fears and whatnot. So put yourself around people like that. And then number two, find guidance, find someone or a group of people that actually know the whole process, right? Because a lot of the things that we're doing the hard way are just everything that allows us to become an attractive applicant to PT schools or to succeed through physical therapy school and whatnot, or understand finances, money, debt, all that stuff and how to deal with it. Because, well, if you're first, then no one else in your family has ever had to invest this kind of money into graduate school or schooling in general. So finding direction and guidance from someone that has already done it, someone that actually understands the process, whether that's us, whether that's somebody else, find it, please. Because if you do, it allows you to not have to do things the hard way and also speed up the process so that you can be at your best, show up at your best, and not have to let those doubts and fears that come with the whole process bring you down. So that's it. Those are the 3 steps. Remember who you represent. Don't let it be a burden. Use the edge. And of course, support is your biggest leverage. Use it. It is not weakness. So for those of you that are first generation students, I hope that helped. And if you want more direction or more guidance, 2 quick things. Number 1, send us a DM on Instagram and we'd be more than happy to talk to you about where you're at and what's worked for a lot of our other students that we've coached that have had some of the challenges and battles that come with being a first generation student. And then of course, if you want direction right now and you're like, hey, I want guidance, I want something that has worked for plenty of other people like myself, then go to www.leveluptheprept.com. That is our number 1 free training that basically shares the blueprint that we have used to help hundreds of students that we have directly coached. And I'm not exaggerating that. I there's really well over 500 students that we have privately coached in our accepted system program, and what they did differently, regardless of being non-traditional students, regardless of being low GPA students, regardless of being first generation students, and all the other things that we sometimes feel are challenges, like what they did and how they navigated through that so that they could become irresistible, strong applicants in order to get into PT school. So go to leveluptheprept.com, go sign up for that free training. We have one coming up very, very soon, so you do not want to miss it. But that is it. Have an amazing rest of your day. Go kill it, go crush it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.